Hi, my name is Mark Bernard. I'm a monetary economist. In this video, I want to talk about specifically what is going on with a potential tariff on BRICS and what this means for Russia, the Russian ruble, and the future of Moscow. It's a very interesting question. I'm going to take it first from economic theory, but ultimately from gameplay. And gameplay, as you know, relies on psychology. So it's a little bit of a conversation. But first, let's look at the economic theory. And really, it's the question, is is the gamer being gamed? Okay, that's a really, is the gamester gaming the gamer? That's a very good question. So the idea here is there will be 100% tariff on BRICS countries. And we know that BRICS is the brainchild of the Kremlin, of Moscow. And really, you could say, okay, investment bankers in New York developed it as an idea for developing countries as an alternative to the dollar. But we know that's not its present form. It's to create a rivalry, a challenge to the US dollar in predominance. Now, as a free market economist, I don't mind that. Okay, but we're going to talk about that in the morality. I don't mind that there's alternatives, and I've made the point that the dollar is dollar functioning because people trust it, just like the euro, just like the zloty, just like the pound or the franc, the Swiss franc. A currency, going back to Karl Menger on money, 1871, is anything that people universally use as a medium of exchange. They have trust in. Trust is the universal currency. So I don't mind alternative currencies arising. In fact, I recommend it. But BRICS has a specific moral and geopolitical agenda behind it. And you know the countries of BRICS. I've recanted it many times. You've got Brazil, India, China, Russia, then the new add-ons like Iran, and then you've got Argentina. And we know that Argentina is harboring a lot of Russian currency, Russian money. A lot of people I know that are Russian are going to Argentina, just like after WW2, the biggie with the H guy, and Germans went there, okay? And there's other few countries throwing in their United Arab Emirates. So BRICS is not just an alternative currency in terms of we believe in freedom and prosperity. It's by despots who are trying to challenge the US dollar in very questionable moral circumstances. So let's get back to what Adam Smith said about tariffs. As you know, I've quoted other chapters of Adam Smith that he's against tariffs. He's against mercantilism. Mercantilism was the age of empires, wooden ships and iron men sailing across the seas, trying to just promote home industries. And here's another quote by Adam Smith. It's from Book 4, Chapter 2. You can look it up. Adam Smith, Wealth of Nations, 1776. And he says that to give monopoly, et cetera, to paraphrase it, to any kind of home domestic industry, and specifically funnel and curtail and try to get people to invest their capital and capital length and capital formation in a very specific way is hurtful, a hurtful regulation. Smith makes that clear. He is for free market. It's a binary thing. Either doesn't matter about trade balances. He says this. He says it doesn't matter, trade deficit, surplus, balances. That's all old school. That doesn't work. It's binary. Either you're free trade or you're not. He makes exceptions with defense and countries playing unfairly in the free trade arena. And again, I use the point, what if the state of Maine were to cut themselves off and create 100% tariffs and wall themselves in? That Maine economy wouldn't do so well. And if the United States walls itself in with tariffs, you're going to expect inflation. But remember what I said about this quote, dark times are coming. And each of us must make a choice between what is easy and what is right. Goggles to fire, Professor Dumbledore. And so is that what Trump is doing? Okay, is he gaming the gamester? Is he, through psychology, not outright saying, we're going to put 100% tax on China and Russia and oppose this, Moscow? Is he saying in an indirect way, look, I know what this guy, the Tsar of Russia, is about. He's reptilian. When I mean reptilian, I'm talking to the 7 brains humans have. What do we have? The medulla, the pons, the midbrain, which is considered the reptile area. And then that's, you break it down into thymus, cerebellum, cerebrum, etc. So he's saying that this reptilian czar is only thinking about in a one-dimensional space. And if you really want to game the gamester and outplay him, you covertly do it. And don't call it, we oppose mighty Russia, or mighty in quotes, obviously, sarcasm. We oppose the idea of anything that opposes the US dollar and BRICS. And so I am under that premise, under the premise of let's stand for the dollar, I can crush the eggs of this guy in the Kremlin. Is that what's happening? I don't know. I am an objective thinker. Objectivity is the essence of intelligence. If that is the play here, then I will take back what I said, and I will say that this is a good play. Okay, because it is about game theory. And we know, the media is hyping, okay, these tariffs on BRICS, will cause inflation and things. That is true because free trade is deflationary. Free trade has this comparative advantage and it's good deflationary. Bad deflation is when you just basically everybody's hoarding money and they cut the money supply and it's not enough capital. But good deflation is caused by efficiency gains, like comparative advantage, like specialization, like technology, productivity gains, which are unfathomable. You can't even think about it. This causes us to create more and more quantity at less and less price, and that shifts the supply curve down. That's like supply economics, that you're going to have good deflation. I mean, ask economists, they say, oh, deflation is bad. Ask any, babsha here, is it good if her energy costs went down? Is it good if food went down? She said, yeah. She'd say, yeah, I'm more rich. I have more disposable income. And people will say, well, the producers can't make as much. Remember, producers worry about margins, not nominal prices. So it's good to have this. It's good to have this, low tariffs and this free trade, no matter what you think. But the only way you're going to make the exception is on moral grounds. And that's what I say. Because listen to this. Adam Smith was a moral philosopher. He said morality first, enlightened self-interest. Okay? His book, Theory of Moral Sentiment, was his first and his last book because he revised it his whole life. And Adam Smith's Wealth of Nations was the center. Moral sentiment was his moral aspect, and Wealth of Nations was the latter. And I tell you this, ladies and gentlemen, if you're in a relationship from an old dude, I'm going to tell you something. What's the 2 rules? Number 1 rule, don't cheat. Number 2, try to be nice, right? But number 1 is much more important. And that's like the moral sentiment. So my point is, I'm choosing what the hard road, if it's the right road, not the easy road. So if this tariff comes to fruition on BRICS, including China and India, which are enablers, I will be thrilled. Because that is a way of saying, I'm taking the high road, even if I don't say it outright. I look at people's actions. I look at if they're walking the walk, not the words that they say, because the words they say could be just a poker face play. Could be a game. So if you're telling me that there's 100% tariff on these BRICS nations, I'm doing it. I'm for it, because Adam Smith did say that in book 4, I believe chapter 3 or 2, that it's okay to tariff nations that are not playing fair. And they're not playing fair. There's no way you're telling me they're playing fair. So that goes right along with Adam Smith. So let's watch and see what happens, how this unfolds. The ruble is going down. This would just crush the eggs of the Kremlin, right? And you know the metaphor, okay? It would not be a good thing. That means Russia would go down. So maybe this is a win-win for us, guys. Let's watch and see. That's the theory behind tariffs against BRICS and why it is very, very bad for Russia. My name is Mark Biernot. I'm a monetary economist. Thank you very much. Have a great day.